It is Monday, July 31st, 2023, and I am. Uh, yeah, it's the start of another work week. They had like a welcome day event today, but it wasn't really that interesting. They had. Well, it was all about like corporate culture and that. I did talk with another new hire though, and got some information from them about why one of the systems wasn't working. So that's working now. So that's, I mean, I guess of all things, maybe it wasn't worth 3 hours of my time, but of all things, I mean, at least knowing how to make that system work is good. Which, I mean, that's networking, getting to know people and asking or, hearing about their problems and then being like, yeah, how do you solve that? That's important. So, I mean, I guess it's cool. Uh, Free lunch Monday. It was good. Not much to report there. Uh, Continuing to uh, have conversations with the person who worked on this project before. Uh, Still really helpful, even though we didn't talk about that at all. We were just talking about stuff, uh, normal everyday stuff, and that, I mean, even that was helpful and really interesting. So, but so the music I was listening to at work today was some music that I was involved in at my university. So, uh, I don't know. What I kind of wanted to talk about today, or what I wanted to kind of think through, because sometimes when you talk about a situation or something, it's easier to figure out what you think about something when you talk something through. There's a lot of thinking involved with processing thoughts into speech, into words and sentences, and having your mouth say them. So what I was thinking about was situations where your mind tells you you shouldn't be here. You're not, you don't deserve to be here, or something like that. And the reason why I was thinking about this is because the two situations that I can think of off the top of my head where I immediately was like, I shouldn't be here. They're both music groups. They're both music related. I do a lot of stuff with music. I, I like it. I listen to music almost constantly. Probably because I can't focus on anything unless I'm listening to music. Which, I mean, might be a problem, but hey, it works. It's okay. Uh, I just need to make sure that I can listen to music a lot of the time. Uh, so, sometime I'll get into all the details about my college experience or not all the details, all the generals, I guess. But today's not that day. That would take too long. What I will say is that in my last semester of college, I auditioned for a music group, and prior to that, other than like emails asking how to audition, I had no contact with anybody in the music program besides one or two students. So I came out of nowhere basically. I'd been going to concerts and stuff, but they nobody looks at concerts and be like, oh, that guy gone to all these concerts this semester. People, you don't do that really. At least as far as I know, maybe somebody did notice me going. Uh, but so the deal with that is, I took the audition very seriously because I wanted to play. I wanted to do it. So I tried out for the symphonic wind ensemble at my school. And so I practiced a lot for that audition. And they had a sight reading section, which I completely nailed because it was like it was the sight reading was like 100% my area of expertise. I play percussion, so there's a lot of ways that you can specialize in percussion. There's a lot of ways. There's a lot of things you can specialize in. And the sight reading was like lined up with the style, the instrument, the technique. It was all it all lined up with what I am the best at in the area of percussion. Not okay, not where I am the best, but where my strengths lie, I guess. Not I'm not the best at it in the world, but that is what I am the best at in my talents, I guess. I don't know. This is going to be a long story. Uh, Suffice it to say, I did not study music in college. Like I said, I play music a lot. I listen to music a lot, but and I took a lot of lessons through, from when I started all the way through high school, basically. But I did not study music at my university. Uh, I ended up in second chair in the percussion section, which basically I was the second in command. Somehow. It was a blind audition. They didn't know. They chose me based off of what they heard. They didn't see me at all. They didn't know who I was. They wouldn't have known who I was anyway. So, we get to the first rehearsal, and it's like, they give me the music, and it's like this really hard stuff. Even though it is it is related to, it is in my area of expertise. It's still like, man. And like, I did not do well at that first rehearsal. But when you're playing percussion, you got to remember, each equipment, percussionists don't supply all of their equipment very often. There's very often parts that, where you play on provided equipment. And if it's your first rehearsal with someplace, you don't know how the equipment works. You don't know where to get the equipment you need. You don't know the pieces you're playing, obviously. Nobody does at that point. And you don't even know the people that you're playing with. You don't know the conducting style. There's a lot of things you don't know. And you have to adjust very quickly at your first rehearsal if it's going to be a good one. Or if you're like 99% of people, the first rehearsal is just not a good one. So that entire first rehearsal, my mind was going, you shouldn't be here, you shouldn't be here, you shouldn't be here, you shouldn't be here, you shouldn't be here. Because I think I was like basically the only non-music major in the entire group. Not just in the percussion section, which I was the second chair of for some reason, but like in the entire group. And so, yeah, that first rehearsal was hard. But I came back. I came back for the second rehearsal. I came back for the third one. I came back for the fourth one. And when we got to that first concert, I did really well. That was one of the best concerts that I've ever participated in. And I don't know, it wasn't the best performance for everybody. There were a lot of there were a lot of relatively minor errors. I don't know. You can't really classify errors by, it's hard. It's hard to classify how good a concert somebody has. But I had a really good concert. So, I definitely provided a benefit to myself being there. I don't know. I like to think I'm pretty objective about my performance at things. But that's really a topic for another day. So I'm glad I stuck there. I'm glad I didn't quit. Because, yeah, that entire time I was going, I shouldn't be here, I shouldn't be here, I shouldn't be here. Not out loud, but that's what my brain was doing. The the other time that this happened to me was also a very similar situation. Uh, okay, I think it was an April concert. This okay, this group. I should okay. Going back, uh, my drum instructor plays in a symphony. My old drum teacher that I took lessons from for many years plays in a symphony. It's not his typical style of music that he plays. It's not what he's known for, but he has fun and he's really good at it. He is a timpani specialist in that group. So orchestras work differently than wind ensembles and other groups and stuff. Typically, you have somebody who plays timpani on every piece because there's a timpani part for every orchestral piece. Probably. I literally can't think of any that don't have a timpani part. Sorry, I'm still a little sick. I'm still sniffling a little bit. I'm still coughing, but it's okay. It's getting better. And then you split it into there's one person who does timpani on everything, and then everybody else does everything that's not timpani. Usually you mix it up and do different things, so you're not doing the same thing all the time. So there were a few times when I was taking lessons from my teacher that they needed subs for this orchestra. They needed an additional player, or maybe one of the normal people couldn't make it, or had something going on and they needed a sub. So I played there a couple times. I think I played there once or twice in high school and once or twice in college or something. Well, no, I don't. Okay. What probably happened is I played there once in high school and once in college with my drum teacher. Maybe. I don't remember exactly. It's getting a little fuzzy. I know one of the pieces I played there, I think in high school, was Tchaikovsky's Romeo and Juliet, which was really cool. I liked that piece a lot. I played the simples on that. And I think that before that, I had played that same piece in the youth symphony I played in, except I did the bass drum part on that. So I kind of already knew how the piece went. That's still off topic, but so I got a call from him while I was actually going to school one day, and he asked me to fill in for him at their next rehearsal concert sequence. So here I was. I hadn't played with him for a couple of years at that point. I had stopped taking lessons at some point in college because it was just too much. I couldn't practice every day. I couldn't practice enough in a week to justify lessons. Maybe I should have gone to like a once a month thing, but my school was it was tough. I couldn't really add a lot more things to my plate, so I had to quit lessons at some point. So here I was, filling in for him. I agreed because it's like, cool, that's awesome, and the group pays a little bit, so that's always nice. But I was filling in for him, so he wasn't there to talk to, or, I was no longer his student, really. So that was a new situation. Plus, this was post-COVID, and I hadn't seen him post-COVID, I don't think. Like, literally. Yeah. I hadn't seen him or played with him since COVID. So, but he still had full faith in me and was like, I want you to sub for me. It's like, okay. It's a little hard to pass up on that request, and so there were 2 rehearsals before the concert on this, and one of them was the first rehearsal was the day before, and then there was the rehearsal the day of, and then the concert. So that's a tough schedule. I mean, like, that's that's hard. But everybody's, I mean, the people are used to it, and here I am coming in and subbing in. That first rehearsal also did not go well. Uh, the conductor, you hate it when the conductor singles you out. It's tough. It's hard. With percussion, that happens a lot because you are by yourself, especially on timpani. You don't play with. I mean, you are like the icing on the cake. If you mess up the icing, your cake is not good. I mean, if you cover up a bad cake with enough icing, maybe it's good. It's probably not. But that's probably a bad analogy. But if you mess up as a percussionist, you're next on the guillotine. Even on timpani. So that was he singled me out a lot during that first rehearsal. And I mean, to be fair, I haven't played, I hadn't played for years, a couple of years at least, in an orchestra at all. Like, at all. So it was tough getting used to that. And, anyway. That first rehearsal was another time where it's like, these guys are all really good at this, and they play here regularly, and I shouldn't be here. 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 And it's like, stop. I'm trying to count 100 measures of rest. I don't need my brain to be focusing on I shouldn't be here or not. So, but what I did is, when I got home that night, I was like, oof, this is bad. So what I did is I spent the entire rest of the evening listening to the music. Yeah, I listened to recordings. I looked at my stuff. I marked everything. And I spent most of the next morning, doing the exact same thing. And then I went to the rehearsal the next day, and I did okay. And then I did the concert, and I did really well. So, at least I think I did. I mean, like I said, it's hard to be objective about these things, but okay. The thing I can say is I did everything that I wanted to do at the concert. And that's objective. I did everything that I set out to do at that concert. And that doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes you can't do everything that you try to do at a concert. That's just the nature of live music, It's hard. It's really hard. So, I don't know. The weird thing is that I haven't gotten that I shouldn't be here type of feeling for technical work or any of my engineering classes or anything like that. You'd think that would also show up in that part of my life, but there's something different about how my brain works with engineering and math and science. It's different than music. So, and there are a lot of people who do deal with engineering work where it's like, I shouldn't be here, everybody else is smarter than me. I don't know, maybe that's a failing on my own part. Maybe I should be, and I know that there's a technical word that's called imposter syndrome for this type of thing, but I don't know if that's exactly what I'm dealing with. It does kind of sound like it, but I guess there's different people who react to imposter syndrome differently, and what I am dealing with doesn't sound exactly like what some other people deal with. But I don't know. Anyway, so in both of those situations, I kind of leveraged that into, making sure that I did the best that I could. So maybe that's what the point is. That if you think that you shouldn't be there, then earn your spot. I don't know. Maybe that's bad advice. But if you think you shouldn't be there, you shouldn't be in a situation that you're in. Well, first of all, this is a lot different than some sort of bad situation in terms of like abuse or something like that. If you shouldn't be somewhere because it's unsafe, then that's you need to make sure that you're safe. That's first. But if you think you shouldn't be somewhere because you were given an opportunity that other people don't have, then earn your spot. And set benchmarks so you can know if you're there. It's not good to overwork yourself just for something like that. That's a completely separate problem. But I don't know, set up a goal, come up with, in music that's really easy because the goal's always the concert. It always is. Or it's either the concert or the long-term learning. Depending on how you really look at it. But, and sometimes you need to allow yourself to be good, you know? Don't set goals that you can't achieve, but I don't know. I'm not really the person to be talking about this anyway, being that I've just started my first real job and all that, but I don't know. Wow, this one is longer than usual, but I have been thinking about this today and a couple days ago, so anyway, I guess what did we learn from today? Uh, Hard work and determination pay off. Perseverance is good. And don't give up because you don't feel like you're good enough. Find a way to be good enough. It's a lot easier said than done, really. But, you're not alone. And your first time doesn't define your second time. You have to have a first time before you have a second time. And that's okay. Everybody does. Anyway, I guess that's it.